Brothers, by now you should have been notified via text and email blast or in the stations that we've reached a tentative agreement with the city pending a ratification vote by you. That vote's going to take place today, Sunday, the 20th, Monday the 21st, Tuesday the 22nd, and 23rd between 1:30 and 5:30 at Central Fire Station. An executive board member will be on hand to assist you with the vote. I'm briefly going to go through everything that you've read on the Memorandum of Understanding. Starting with the top, it was Article 4, Section C, Union Dues and Agencies Fees. That's a result of the Janus decision at the United States Supreme Court. We had to remove it from our contract. There's no longer fair share. So that's just eliminating that section. Next is Article 5, the probationary period. Basically, what we've done is change it from 6 months after the first 12 weeks to just a solid 12-month period from your date of hire. So we increased it by 3 months. It's still well below the majority of fire departments in the state of Pennsylvania. It just makes it much clearer for doing evaluation purposes. The next would be, it's not really a new article, it's our wages, or I'm sorry, new article is what we do with results of academy. If you start the academy now and you go through, get all certifications and leave within the first 5 years, you're going to owe money back to the city for gear and for training. We already did that. It's just basically incorporating that memo into our contract. Then we move on to Article 10, wages. The wages are 2%, 2%, 2%, 3%, 3%. It's a total of 12% over 5 years. That's pretty self-explanatory. Article 12, vacation subsection, starting with 2022 and going forward, there will be 4 firefighters off per shift for vacation as opposed to what we currently are at 3. Article 15, sick leave. Currently right now, after your second occasion, you'll get a note that says after your third occasion, you'll need a med cert. The city wanted to move that to a second occasion, in which tentatively, we are agreeing with that. The differences are going to be that anytime you're off sick, if you bring in a med cert, it will not count as occasion towards going on the list. In addition, the city is either going to figure out a way to get one of our med certs downloaded onto Teledoc, which I don't believe they're going to be able to do from talking to people from Teledoc. But in lieu of that, you're going to be able to use a form from Teledoc and it will satisfy your med cert requirement. Insurance, everybody will be switching to the PPO plan. The agreed upon amounts are there. That's basically a hybrid of the current HMO and traditional rates. That is going to be froze at those rates. So what you're paying right now, essentially, you will be paying through the end of the contract. The next one is Article 27, pension news section. Currently have the attorney working on this. Basically what it's going to do is incorporate vesting into not only our contract, which is very important, but then we'll get it over into the pension code. It's going to be pretty much consistent with the third class city code. That is what the police currently operate at, and most people do. It's a 12-year vesting period. So that'll be incorporated, and all the stuff we've discussed as far as being able to go after 20 years for some of the newer guys, and then wait till they're 50 to start collecting their pension, or in the case of something happens personally and they have to leave after 12, 13, 14, whatever the case may be, they would be able to be vested and they would be able to start collecting at normal retirement age. The agreement is a 5-year deal, which is super important for us. We have no idea what the future holds as far as the mayor's race. So at least we'll have 4 years to make friends with the next mayor, feel him out or her out, and figure out where we're going to go beyond that. And then there's a new section. This was, if you remember, we thought we had a deal prior that included staffing. The mayor made it pretty clear that he couldn't do that. After, even though his appointed chief negotiator agreed upon it, without signing it, of course. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a committee. There's going to be 2 appointees by Local 302, 1 by the fire administration, 2 by the city administration. We're going to have quarterly meetings for the next 5 years. We're going to discuss staffing and only staffing at those meetings. And they're going to report with written reports to the mayor and recommendations to the mayor. If nothing else, it gets us, much like we do with our safety committee minutes and our labor management meeting minutes, it gets us on to a place where there's going to be recommendations. And if they don't follow them, they have that right. But it's going to be mutually agreed upon that there's no one going to be saying that we don't need more staffing when faced with statistics. The other thing you received was an email, because there's going to be a lot of questions about health benefits. So I'd like you to read that email. If they cannot, through our third-party provider, get us all over to the PPO by the end of the year, you're going to remain in your current enrollment status, whether that be traditional or HMO, through January, and then it would start February 1st. Couple of things that we're currently working on, just so you know, is getting them to open up the FSA, because the PPO has the $500 deductible towards it. So some of that, we're trying to get them to open that back up, and in case anybody wants to make any changes or additions to it. If we do get put into the PPO prior to us getting cards, they're going to furnish us with the number. So if you're going to the doctor, you'll have the number associated with it, so the doctor will be able to bill correctly. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I can tell you, there's a unanimous endorsement from the executive board. I think this is a better deal than we could have got in arbitration. Of course, staffing was paramount. But I will say that after talking with our attorney, other arbitrators throughout the state, other locals throughout the state, to get an addition during these times would have been very, very tough. What I will say is the mayor did indicate that he didn't need to have a mandate before, and he entered into an MOU, which increased us to 27, and that he's not adverse to doing that again, but he has to make sure that the financial health of the city is okay before he would pursue doing that. So that's where we're at. It's a unanimous endorsement from the executive board. I hope that all of you come and vote while you're on duty. I did that so we wouldn't have to, be traipsing in and out of firehouses during the COVID, and as well as with the crappy streets out there. So please come up, vote. It will end on Wednesday at 5:30. And we'll make sure the results are out. Thank you.